Is it true that 2026 is going to be the easiest year for real estate agents that are still in the game? Because thousands and thousands of real estate agents are quitting every single day. So we got this Reddit thread right here. Someone posted, something interesting is happening in the real estate industry. Not many new agents are breaking into it. The barrier to success is harder. I've never seen this before. At the same time, hundreds of thousands of agents are leaving. This means the survivors can cash in more than ever. Okay, so I'm gonna summarize this because this is quite long, but yeah, basically that that Reddit users talking about the fact that 5 years ago, a brand new agent that was clueless could join the industry and have a shot for a few reasons. Tons of movement during COVID, low rates, brand new agents could join and actually get leads for not too much money, right? Zillow leads were cheaper. Clueless agents could take a Zillow lead, meet them at the property, scratch their head. The client wants to submit an offer. The agent submits it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then they get paid. During COVID, people's restaurants and retail shops closed down or rounded down. They got weekly checks from, let's just cut this part loose. But here's the difference now. The NAR settlement changed everything. Low inventory, high rates, and Zillow leads, right? They've all skyrocketed. There's a lot of scams, upfront fee emails all the time that you receive for expensive leads, and leads have become a commodity. New agents don't have that kind of money. Why do I feel bad for new agents? Because we've all been there, right? It's getting tougher and tougher to actually get into it. We're now in an industry that's becoming highly specialized with AI that's being there. Picture a buyer asking a clueless agent questions that they cannot answer, and then going to ChatGPT and getting cleared answers, right? Clear answers. Now you have to be filled with info to provide value to consumers. Okay, I'm already seeing this play out in real time, but we're going to see this in 2026. I've had some crappy years myself, 2022, 2023, 2024. I got rocked actually. All of a sudden I started to see things blow up again in 2025. Okay, I never thought less competition would matter that much because the industry seemed so big that it always seemed like there was enough to go around. But there's no longer my cousin is in real estate. My friend is in real estate. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's break this down. So first, I do agree that there are market changes and we're seeing it. There are definitely less agents that are getting their license, like random people getting their license just because like they think it's an easy way to make cash. Yeah, that's for sure. But I think this is always going to happen in cycles. Like every time the market gets easier in general, there's a lot of movements. Well, it will draw a lot of people that, want to get rich quick, right? Which is typically the kind of people that, hey, they might join, get their license for a year or two, but then after that, as soon as it gets hard, they'll quit and do something else. And so they can never really sustain long-term wealth building and growth because they're not focused on one single thing. They hop from job to job, or they hop from opportunity to opportunity. When crypto was hot, they probably hopped on it, right? Maybe lost some money or maybe made some money and then hopped on real estate. Like it doesn't mean that you're good when you do that. And so you don't develop any expertise. You're just like riding a wave of potentially getting lucky and making money quick, right? But it's not really a long-term strategy if you really want to like build wealth and also have some sort of compound effect taking place. Because when you are a real estate agent and you just dedicate your life to this for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, at some point you start to become good. And believe it or not, when you become good at something, you start to get, more money, all right, coming in, right? Because you're getting referrals. You know more how to close people, right? How to help them, how to get referrals, how to build your name out there. Okay, so that's my thoughts on like people coming in and out of the industry. So for 2026, I do agree that you're going to see less of that and a lot of more people quitting, right? People that were just like in it, but haven't really like committed all in to making this work. They were just like, oh, let me try real estate. Like, it sounds fun. Like, I've watched like, a couple of Netflix shows like Selling Sunset, OC and stuff like that. And they're like, they think that it's all that glamorous life and easy way to make money, but definitely it's not. And when they see that it's not, then they just quit. So, we're now in an industry that's becoming highly specialized. So now you have to be filled with info to provide value to consumers. Well, I would argue back that you like, I understand what you mean with, AI being so accessible, but at the end of the day, like that was also true 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. The reason why they came to you is because they didn't know how to sell their house for top dollar, selling it as quickly as possible with the least amount of stress. And so if you had skills as a real estate agent on how to do that, then they would be glad to pay you $10,000 for this, right? As a commission. Now, I think what you're really saying is that in order to get leads or get attention or convert people, right? Or be valuable in their eyes, you need to know your shit. And if you don't, then it will show, and they're just going to go get the answers through AI and then hop, from agent to agent, right? And they're not necessarily going to be loyal to you. That I understand and I agree. And it's also why, and this goes with my next point right here, right? That person says that they've been rocked like for 3 years back to back. And then all of a sudden, because of the market, because of external factors that you cannot control that's happening in the market, you believe you're going to have a good year. Now, look, there is some truth to that. Like, you will have better years, worse years that will be impacted by the market. But can you really control the market? Can you really control what's going on? Like the NAR settlement, the low inventory and high rates, the Zillow lead costs. Like, these are all external factors. But what about what you can control? How do you get better every single day? How are you more disciplined? What are the systems you put in place? What are the skills that you're learning to develop as a human being, as a real estate agent, as a business owner, to get better at growing and managing your business? Because this is what really matters. No matter what's going on outside of the market, like that is the biggest thing by far I see in the real estate space. Is a lot of agents, they will blame their bad year on the market or external conditions. But what is it that you are doing? You can only control your thoughts and what you're doing. And so focus on that, right? Don't focus on the Zillow leads. Don't focus on low inventory, high rates, or the NAR settlement. Like, it is what it is. You can't change it. And so the biggest thing that will help you sustain your growth, no matter what's going on in the market, is building a personal brand. If you are building your name, your face, and you're being known as the authority, the real estate agent, people know, trust, and refer in your area, then what happens outside of your control doesn't matter. Because you are getting views, you're posting reels, you're posting videos, and then you are building a name for yourself. And so, yes, there might be less people selling, buying, but there will always be. And so if you can just be that agent that people goes to like directly whenever they think of selling or buying, you're going to win. It's just a matter of time. Now, you might have like I said, maybe a worse year because of the market, but it doesn't mean that you still can't win. So, and here you even said it yourself, right? I'm sure there are hustler agents out there breaking in here and there, but they'll have to push through the cracks harder than ever as things have changed. And yeah, it is true, but it is hard to be successful. That's why you call it the top 1%. And most people are not successful in real estate.